Over the years, we've had traditional companies, centralized companies out there that, like Avon and Market America and stuff like that out there that we have done presentations in hotel rooms. And then we slowly moved on to online, and we've done businesses online. A lot of those businesses are centralized, where the money stays on the company's platform, and what we're doing is we're trusting that company to make sure that those funds stay on that, and we're able to withdraw every time. A lot of these companies early on, what they did is, because they have fees and stuff, they held onto your money, and you could only withdraw like once a week or once a month or something like that. It was really tough to get your money out of there. And then some companies would say, well, we don't have enough money to pay you. We're going to hold off on our withdrawals. And then they would start on the withdrawals again. It just seems like it's a little fishy. So over the years, let's say 3 or 4 years ago, we kind of slowly moved into what we call smart contracts. And I'll go over what a smart contract is. And basically, it's a program that is written on the blockchain. It's programmed by a software team that's written on the blockchain. It can't be changed, and it can't be the transparency there, and it can't be what's the word I'm looking for? It can't be it's the help me out, Braden. What's that word that I'm looking for? Can't remember. It's like it can't be changed or undone.
Immutable.
Immutable. Right? That's it. Immutable. Eric always says that word, and I'm like, what's that word again? Immutable. So anyway, it's a program written on the blockchain, and it can't be changed. Okay, not even the software team can actually edit it and change it once it's built. Okay, and I'll go over the security of it here in a minute. But what's cool about it? It's peer-to-peer, and the other thing is, your funds go directly into your private wallet, peer-to-peer. Within 5-6 seconds, we'll go over that. We use a crypto called Tron. Okay. Now, we don't use fiat money on this. We use a certain token. When smart contracts first started, we use what we call Ethereum. Ethereum is a great crypto. Don't get me wrong. I own tons of it. I feel it's going to go up in value a whole lot. There's huge companies out there using Ethereum right now, but the problem with Ethereum is the fees on it. The fees are so ridiculously priced. So with a smart contract, sometimes when the platform gets backed up, the transactions, it can go from like $5 for fees. It could go all the way up to $100. So even if you, let's say you paid into a platform for $100, you could be charged $50-$60 for that in fees just to put that $100 on there. So what has happened over the years, or over the last year or two, is we kind of switched to what we call a crypto called Tron. Tron is a different type of crypto. Ethereum is number 2 on market cap. Tron is like between 20 and 25th. So it's like the 23rd biggest crypto out there, but it's super, super fast. And you can see that when you transfer Tron, a crypto, it gets to the other end, the other destination, within 3 to 5 seconds. We proved that many, many times, Braden and I, on a lot of these Zooms. We may do it tonight. I'm not sure yet. But it's a very, very fast crypto, okay? But the fees are really, really, really low. It sometimes only charges you like 40 to 45 Tron per transaction, which is super low. I don't know what that costs. I can't even figure that out right now. But it's super, super, super low in cost and fees. Now, this is why we're using a crypto called Tron. Tron is not easily available to buy, but you can swap. And I'll go over that on this Friday's training call, how to swap. I own a ton of Ethereum, a ton of Bitcoin, a ton of Stellar. And what I do, what I do is I buy this, or I earn these cryptos, and then I convert it over to Tron, and then I just deposit into it's very, very simple. But if you do want to learn how to swap it out, and the word swap is very important because Braden's going to go over that with you guys. So that is kind of where we're at with smart contracts. We love it because it is very, very safe, and your funds are very safe in that smart contract. And it does go into your private wallet. With that said, the smart contract that is written in the past, when smart contracts first started with online marketing, there were sometimes holes in that smart contract where people could drain your funds out of that. And then what a lot of the bigger companies out there or community, they have hired third-party audit reports done on these smart contracts. Very, 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 very important that we do this. And the reason why is because your funds, we want to make sure that your funds are safe. So if you deposit, like I have over $100,000 into the platform currently right now, I want to make sure that $100,000 is safe, right? And before I did that, when I first joined, I made sure that I had an interview with because I knew I wanted to put a lot of money into this, but I had a meeting with the master distributors, and they answered my questions to the T. I loved it. But when Braden introduced this to me, he told me a story about what he went through when he first started, and how important the audit reports, the third-party audit reports, audit reports, what they do. And I'm not going to steal his thunder, but he's going to go over this with you guys. It kind of has a security part to it. Make sure that our funds are safe and that people can't hack the smart contract and be able to drain our funds and through a back door. So I'm going to pass it over to Braden. He's going to tell you a story about when he first got started and how important the audit reports are.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I'm going to share the screen here as well to show these. I'll start, I guess, with this one. So, yeah, so when I started looking at these, and I won't go into that story tonight because we got to be careful on the time, but it led me to the audit reports. And now I know there's some people here that have experience in previous contracts, and they said, well, we've seen audit reports before and it didn't do anything. It didn't protect me. And that may be the case, but I can assure you it's not the case in Tron case. Okay, that kind of came out weird. The audit reports is what I needed to check to make sure that, when I move forward with this, that it's going to protect the money. It's going to, and especially with sharing it with people I care about, it has to be able to protect us and prevent, bad guys or people who have the knowledge to be able to come in and drain the account. It has to be able to protect us from that. So the screen you're looking at right now is it's the second audit report. It's a company called Telescreen. They specialize in checking for code that can cause an exit scam, or a code that will allow somebody with the technical skill to go into the contract and, basically drain the funds. This company, what they do is they specialize in it. They actually go in, they take the time that's required, they go in and they check to make sure that that code is not in the code of the smart contract. When they go through and they verify, they either say it isn't or it is. And when they're done, they digitally sign it. Okay, there's our contract code right here, or our contract wallet address right here. And you can go in here and you can check it yourself. It's signatured, approved. And you can actually even go to the website to see that Tron case is on there as a light audit. So very, very important. This is the one that actually protects us from an exit scam or the ability to drain our contract. The other one is a more detailed report, and it checks for, you can see here, the person that did it. You see here, it was done on December 3rd of 2020. There's other details here, but if you go down further, you can check things that it has checked for, short address attacks and visibility. You keep going down here, and you can see things like critical and vulnerabilities and medium vulnerabilities. And these were all checked for inside this code. Hit this person. So this is a pretty in-depth report. A lot of it I simply don't understand myself in the code because I'm not a coder. But what I did verify, actually not with this company, it was with the Telescreen. I'll just cover that quickly as well. I didn't actually talk to the person who conducted this report, but when I talked to Martin, one of the master distributors, he certainly did. Okay, even though it's a third party, okay, he actually talked to this individual, this company that performed this. Now, just quickly going back to this other report. One thing that I didn't mention is when I got through checking this, I wanted to actually go a step further as far as I possibly could. And what I did was I was able to actually contact this company other than looking on their website. And I actually got on a phone and talked to the company because I wanted to hear someone tell me that they actually performed this audit. It took me about 3 days, but I did it. I'm really happy that I did. I'm proud that I got through and was able to do that. So it's kind of like doing a verification of a verification of a verification. So I went as far as I possibly could to verify these. You can backtrack these. It does not go to another company. I checked into that because some companies out there or some platforms out there try to steal an audit report and fake it. So these go right back to the companies that actually perform these audit reports. So they really are spectacular. They're real, and they do protect us and our funds within this smart contract. Of course, once the smart contract is deployed onto the blockchain, it's immutable and it can't be changed. But what these do is it guarantees that they're free of that code before being deployed onto the blockchain. So it's very, very safe. Okay.
Hey, Braden, thank you for going over that. We're going to go ahead and go back to our presentation here.
Okay.
So the audit, as you can tell, the audit report is very, very important for us to have a third-party audit report to make sure that our money our funds are safe. Okay, guys. What are the advantages of the Tron case platform and why is it different? So we are completely, we already went over some of this, but I'm going to go over I'm going to breeze through this. We're completely decentralized. Tron case is not managed by anyone, including the software team. Okay. I've already said that once the program is written, not even the software team can change it. It is developed as a fully anonymous system. No person can access your funds, and your funds are secure between you and the smart contract only. Okay. That's very, very important. Instant transactions. We have in many of these Zoom calls before, we have shown how fast these transactions are. They're between 3 and 5 seconds, and it's peer-to-peer. So whenever I show this to someone and they deposit it, the funds are directly get put into our recommended wallets right away. And I'll go over those recommended wallets. The marketing plan is phenomenal. A lot of people, some people, not a lot, some people come up to me, and when I share Tron case with someone, they're like, they're only paying 1.5% a day. And I'm like, what do you mean only? 1.5% a day is, what did we say, Braden, that was a month? Is something like 40% a month? Something like that. Where are you ever going to get that kind of return on anything else that's legit? Now, that is the thing. That's what I'm talking about. That is for real. That is legit, and that it's going to last for years to come. There are companies out there that promise you 5% a day, 6% a day, and then they pay you all this money, and then they pay all these leaders thousands of dollars. It's not sustainable. I'm going to go over the figures on this 1.5% currently, and then we're going to give you some really, really good information on how that's going to pay out for years to come and how it's sustainable. Which are very transparent. You're going to be able to see all transactions. So the money that I'm making currently, and the money Braden's making, and the money that Kelly Whitehead's making, I had to throw you in because you're late, Kelly. So I had to throw your name in there. You're able to see all the transactions. So as long as you know our Tron address, you're able to see all the money that I make every single day, every single week, every single year. So every transaction within the the entire community, you're able to see that. So that's transparency. Tron case cannot be affected by any decision changes from the day it was born. That's important. So whatever was written in stone, it's going to stay in stone. Okay. So we do have some bonuses out there that's pre-written into the contract, the smart contract. And once we perform and hit those goals, then we're going to be getting paid a lot more. High security. We already went over the audit reports. That's very, very important that those audit reports are done. And we had that completed. And I think, Braden, I'm not positive, but I think we're going to perform another one here shortly, but I'm not sure. High security. What does this mean? We also have 4 different domain names for our websites to get us to the smart contract. Our smart contract is built on the blockchain, and then our websites that we have, our domain names, are actually, all it is a website that gives us access to our smart contract. So they're 2 separate things, okay? So our money is safe in the smart contract, but our website is a different story. It can be hacked with some smart people out there. And they always try to do that, but we do have some security with it. But what we've done differently than many other companies out there is we have 4 domain names. We have 2 public domain names and 2 private ones. The 2 public ones is troncase.io that you see currently that you can get to your back office. We have a backup one called troncase.space. So if for some reason we're updating the website, we're updating some words, colors, or whatever, we can always go to troncase.space and access our back office that way. Once, if for some reason we have a hacker come in and hack both of those websites, we had 2 private ones that we can give everyone out there those domain names, and we can have access to our funds that way. So really, really secure. We don't know what those domain names are, but there's only like a couple people that actually know those domain names, and we'll be able to access that. If that ever happens, which I doubt it will. So that's our security measures. Tron case goals here. I'm not going to go over the first, second, or third goals, but they're really, really steep goals for right now. But I have a feeling our momentum is about to kick in. Remind me, Braden, how many people we got? 27,000 people by now?
Actually, we're very close to 29,000.
We're close to 29,000 members. So that is going to go up tremendously here, probably in the next couple of weeks. And Braden's going to go over that and why that's going to happen. So our 4th quarter goals at the end of the year, we'd like to have 2 million participants. That's a steep goal, don't get me wrong. But even if we hit half of that, we're doing very, 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 very good. So that's the Tron case goals here. They have steep goals, and there's a good reason why, because what we're about to tell you, what Braden's about to tell you, the momentum could kick into gear pretty quickly. Our platform conditions. So a lot of people ask me, how inexpensive can I get started in? And then there's a lot of people out there, even rich guys, that come in and say, I just want to test the system. I want to come in for as little as possible, test the system, see it working, and then maybe I might add some more later on. So your minimum deposit, if you just want to get going, is 100 TRX. Currently, I think we're about 6.5. I'm just going to average it off about 6.5 cents per Tron. So that's something like $6.50 to get started. Your maximum deposit is 4 million Tron, and it's something like $250,000. It's like $250,000 maximum amount. A lot of people don't have that kind of money. So the maximum amount is pretty high. Your total income that you're going to make is 300%. And they're like, oh, that's all I can make is 300%. No, well, that's a lot of money. But what's cool about it is that's just one contract. You have 100 different deposits that you can put for each account that you have. So I'll give you an example. I have like something like 1.3 something million in there, but I've deposited over 50 times. Okay, so I have 50 different contracts in there, and I'll show you my back office and how that works. Every time you make a deposit, it's a new contract. And every time that contract reaches 300%, then it falls off. And it's usually between 200 and 208 days. It is different because if you did some withdrawals, it could take 208 days. So that's your total income. So let me give you an example. If you put $1,000 in Tron case within about 200 to 208 days, you're going to get $3,000 back. So you're like, oh, that's all? That's a lot of money. If you were to keep your money that you're keeping today in a savings account, you're only going to earn 0.5 to 1% interest per year. You're earning 1.5% interest or return back to you on a daily basis here. So if you were to get started, let's say for $100, let's say you throw $100 in this, you're going to be earning 1% of that $100 every single day. The next day, day 2, you're going to be earning 1.1%, day 3, 1.32%, day 4, 1.3%, and so on, all the way to 1.5%. Currently, our maximum amount that we're earning is 1.5%. And that happens after 6 days of a deposit, okay? If you were to withdraw that contract or that deposit, it's going to go back to 1%, and then you're going to keep earning that. So just remember that. Your personal hold bonus, 0.1% every 24 hours. That's what I just went over. That's called a hold bonus. And then on top of that, so currently a lot of people are earning 1.5% currently because they held their deposit in there. Now we also have some more bonuses in here that is pre-written on the blockchain or on the smart contract currently. Once our community reaches 80 million TRX, which currently I think we're at something like 38 million on our contract. And it's called a balance. It's a total balance, not the entire transactions. It's the total balance that's held onto the contract. And I think we're close to like 38 million now. When we hit 80 million, which is going to happen pretty quickly here in sometime in April, every one of us, not just the leaders, not just the people that added a whole lot of money into it. Even if you just added $100, you're going to get 0.2%. This is everyone in the community. So all 28,000 people that are in Tron case are going to get that extra amount. So currently we're earning 1.5% with that 0.2%. Once we hit that 80 million, we're going to be earning 1.7%. And you say to yourself, well, it's only 0.2%. 0.2% is a whole lot of money. If you multiply that by the week, by the month, and by the year, it's a ton of money that you're going to be making. We also have what we call a community bonus. A community bonus is for every 50,000 active members that join our community, and this is everyone is going to get an additional 0.1%. Okay, so if you add this 0.2 and this 0.1, that's something like 1.8% that we're going to get as soon as we hit these bonuses. And this is for every 50,000 active users, so up to 0.5%. So when we hit 100,000 active users, it's going to go up to 1% extra. When we hit 150,000 members, it's going to go to 1.5%. So amazing. Now, we also have what we call a leadership bonus. Now, it's different than what it sounds like. It sounds like just the leaders are going to get this bonus, but that's not true. This is the entire community, everyone within. So if you're already in Tron case, you're going to get this leadership bonus too. Once the payouts for the referral commissions reaches 20 million payouts in TRX, then they're going to add 0.1% extra to everybody's contract. I'm talking everyone within the community. So if you were to add all this up and we hit all of this, and it may take a year or two for all of this to hit, it's like 3.5% return daily on your money. You're never going to find that anywhere in any legit real company or real community out there. Simply amazing, guys. This is why it's changed my life. It's changed Braden's life, and it's changed many, many, many thousands of people's lives. And it's going to continue to do that from here on out. Now, everything I just spoke about on the type of money that you're going to be making, all that is, even if you don't share this with one soul, you don't have to share this with anybody. You can make that kind of money, that kind of return by not sharing this with anyone. Now, I highly suggest not doing that because there's a lot of income to be made if you do share this with others, okay? And what am I talking about? I'm talking about an affiliate program. So my wife works for an insurance company, State Farm, and she has this affiliate program with State Farm that if they have someone switch over to State Farm from another insurance company, they get a certain percentage. They throw them like $500 for the year. Something simply amazing. Okay, guys. Now we had the same thing. So if you were to share this with others, then what the program is going to do, the smart contract. Now, again, we're not we don't have a company here. We have a community, and all this is already pre-written on the smart contract. So if you were to share this with someone, say your rich uncle, and he throws 1,000,000 Tron in, you're going to earn 7% from your rich uncle. And not only are you going to be happy, but your uncle's going to be happy because he's earning 1.5% on a daily basis. And your rich uncle knows how to make money already. And he's like, wow, 1.5%, that's a lot. And there's a lot of people out there that think 1.5% is not a lot, but it is. So let me give you an example. I shared this with 40 people when I first started. And out of those 40 people, within 5 days, I was down to 11 levels. So those 40 people shared it with some, those people shared it with some, those people shared it with some. And within 5 days, it all went down all the way to 11 levels. And I can tell you my 7th level here, it has the most transactions at all levels. And I'm earning 0.5% off every deposit in my 7th level. Simply amazing. And I'm going to show you my back office that I'm making this kind of money every minute of the day and every second of the day. It just comes into my private wallet, just flies in there, and I just love it. So example, I invited 40 people because Braden is my sponsor. He is making 3% on those 40 people that I brought in. And then Braden is making 1.5% on any one of those 40 people that shared it with someone. He's making 1.5%. So when I get paid 7%, Braden gets paid 3% at the exact same time I get paid. Simply an amazing program, simply amazing. I just can't talk more about it. Anyway, that is the affiliate program. Again, you do not have to share this with anyone and still make this kind of money, 1.5%. But I highly suggest if you do share this with others, all you have to do is bring them to these calls and let us not convince them, but show them that people are making money in this. This is a strategy. There's many, many different strategies that people take. That's for another call. That's for our training call. But, my strategy is I wanted to get to 1,000,000 Tron as quick as possible. There's other people that want to get to, let's say, 5,000 Tron deposited as quick as possible. And there's people withdrawing weekly, and there's people withdrawing monthly. So there's different strategies. This is just one strategy to get to 960,000 Tron. All right, we have what we hear, a way to get your questions answered. A lot of the questions are answered on Zoom calls. A lot of questions are answered in the Facebook group. A lot of questions are answered on the Telegram group and chat box. So there's different ways and different means to get your questions answered. There's 2 Telegram groups. There's a YouTube channel. There's a Telegram group called the Chat Bot. Rover, Braden calls them, and you can get PDFs. If you're in a different language, if you want to download a different marketing material, you can do that with the chat box. I highly suggest everyone go into the YouTube channel. And the reason why is because it has tutorials on how to use your wallet, how to download your 2 recommended wallets. Now, I didn't go over that earlier. I forgot. There are 2 recommended wallets that you have to use. Do not use anything else. Please do not use anything else. And the reason why is because you're only going to get help with the one wallet called Klever and another wallet called Tronlink. Those are the only 2 wallets that you should download if you join Troncase. If you use any other kind of wallet, the updates don't come through, and it could potentially not work with Troncase later on down the road. So please only use those 2 recommended wallets. Now, we have both of those wallets on the YouTube channel that will show you how to download them, and it'll show you how to deposit within that channel. So that's a good place to go. All right, guys, I am done with the presentation. This is fine and dandy. I gave you some very, very exciting news about how to make money with Troncase. You're still skeptical, I'm sure. There's been people that I've shared this with that said, well, I still don't believe you, Mike. And the reason why they don't believe me is because there's so many different opportunities out there that they've been scammed on, okay? And they taken their money away from them, and they just don't trust. They're going to do their due diligence to make sure that they put, if they're going to put thousands of dollars into this, then they want to make sure it's working. So that kind of money is a lot of money. I can tell you, it's changed my life. I am currently making about $1,600 a day, which is something like $350,000 a year. I have never made that kind of money in any other opportunity. It's simply amazing. My goal is to make $1 million this year with Troncase, and it's going to happen. Now, how can I there's no guarantees on anything. I just want to make sure that, I say that. I'm going to say that one time because there's no guarantees in life on anything. But I can tell you that we've done a lot of research with this. And if I'm going to throw in over $100,000 into this, I'm going to make sure it's working and it's going to be around for a while. So I gave you some numbers out there that says that's going to pay you a lot of money. How can we make sure that this is going to be around for a long time? How can we make sure that this is sustainable, that the money's going to keep coming in over and over again? And we need to make sure this is not a Ponzi scheme. And people that say, hey, that sounds like a Ponzi scheme, where people, they only use the money that people come in, and then they use that new money to pay the people that's been in already for a long time. Well, that's not the case with Tron Case. Braden's going to go over what we call an ecosystem. We have some very, very exciting news that we partnered with someone, and I'm not going to steal the thunder, and I'm going to pass it over to Braden. He's going to share with you some very exciting news that we even heard. Was it today or yesterday? I think it was today. We heard this today. So take it over, Braden.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen with this, just so everybody can get a general idea, especially for the new people, to get a general idea of what we like to call the ecosystem. So just to backtrace just a little bit here. So again, when I started looking at Tron Case, I got eventually to the audit reports, and they're so important, okay? Because that's what protects us. That's what protects our money. And prevents our money from disappearing out of the smart contract. So the next thing that had to be looked at was, and Mike just kind of talked about this a little bit, these numbers that a lot of people are making right now, the 1%, the 1.5%, and then once the community bonuses kick in, that'll eventually get a lot of people up to, well, anybody that's in it will eventually get up to 3.5%. How can Tron Case continue to pay that? So when I was looking very closely at this, I knew it at that time, like before the new year, they were looking at this. So when I looked at it around the second week of January, they had this planned out. This was not an accident. This was not something they thought of 2 weeks ago. This was something that was actually being planned out, thought about, and wanted to be implemented as the smart contract itself was being designed and coded. So the idea of this is that Tron Case is at the epicenter. And these are all products and services, real products, real services that are needed and wanted by a lot of people that are in our arena. And a lot of people that would be coming into our arena. So what I'm going to start with here is the big one, the one that I know a lot of people that have experience already in this field. They know what a swap-in service is. So a swap-in service is something that takes one cryptocurrency and it will allow you to change that into another cryptocurrency, generally with a small fee. But there are some platforms out there that have gotten high. So the good news that Mike was referring to is in this service. Okay, now this one's called coinswap.space, and this is our swapping platform. We actually have partnered with Binance. So anybody that's new, Binance is an exchange platform. They're the largest by volume in the world, and Tron Case has an agreement and has partnered with them to bridge their service with our coinswap.space. Okay, so this is humongous. Okay, and I'll throw this out quickly before I go on. We talked to Martin, who's one of the master distributors today, and we just asked him outright, how far are we into this as far as the testing? And he confirmed that we're 95% through the testing stage. So we're very, very close. So I think yesterday I kind of alluded that we're looking at maybe the first half of April that this will be launched and will be available to us, the community, as well as outside the community. I'll cover that in a sec. So we're like right there, okay? 95% tested, everything is perfect, it's working. I believe there's 9 pairs to start with. And this is like gigantic, okay? Now, within CoinSwap.space, it's not just about swapping. We're going to be able to offer services like yield farming and staking and lending. And I know if you're new to this, you might be saying, well, what is that? Now, we don't have time to cover that, but trust me, it's a service that's going to be offered within this platform, within this DeFi platform, where we can actually perform these tasks to earn money. Okay. There's also going to be a native token that is going to be available to us, and this is what we're going to be able to yield farm. We're going to be able to make money on that. There's also going to be e-learning platforms. There's signals right now that are available. There's going to be crypto and Forex training. I'm not sure if that's going to be a small cost to us or whether that will be free to the community, or it could be something that we could resell out. I'm not sure the details yet. There's also going to be what we're calling a Tron game that may be attached to either the TRX token or to the native token. I'm not sure which. It's not gambling, but it's something like maybe a 50-50 types draw setup where we can, if we choose to participate, we can bet a couple tokens and we can win some. So it's kind of just a fun game that's within this ecosystem. And then at the bottom here, you see two new smart contracts. Now these smart contracts will be available soon. We've been told that they're pretty different than what Tron case is, but nonetheless a decentralized smart contract. They're not being forced on anybody. You can participate if you want, and there's going to be another way that you can generate and earn money if you choose to. So getting back now to the CoinSwap.space, this is what I classify as the largest part of the ecosystem. These platforms generate huge amounts of revenue, okay? So yes, there's going to be fees that we're going to have to pay within our own CoinSwap here, but it's going to be a lot less than, say, if we're going out to some other like CoinSwap or Changely or Exodus or something like that. It's going to be considerably less. There is going to be some perks for us as well as a community. So really what we're doing is, instead of going outside of the community and spending that money to swap, we're going to be able to swap it within our community. But we're also going to be offering the the CoinSwap.space outside of the community to the world. And this is where we're looking at huge amounts of dollars that are going to be generated within that DeFi platform. I've heard like possibly numbers 50, 60, 70 million dollars a month. And I know for a fact that some of the big ones out there are doing that and more. They're just massive profit generators. And so you're sitting here saying, well, okay, well, what does that have to do with us? What is that going to do for Tron case? Well, what happens is that there's going to be a percentage of that revenue that's being generated between our swapping service, our native token, the farming, the yielding, the additional smart contracts, the gains, and there's going to be a percentage of that revenue, real profit revenue, that's going to be coming back directly into the smart contract, right into the actual wallet, into the liquidity pool. That's what's going to allow the sustainability of Tron case. Now, I don't know anybody else out there in this arena right now that is doing this. Coin swaps are not revolutionary. They've been out for a while, okay? So we're not doing anything special there. But what Tron case is doing that's special is they've actually kind of combined this in an ecosystem with Tron case. And I don't know anybody right now that's doing that, okay? So this is huge. This is a real game changer. This is what separates us from every other smart contract out there. This is what separates us between being just a Ponzi scheme. So we have real services and real products, and we know that these products and services are needed. We just know it. There's other platforms out there right now that are doing it. So, you know, if you get that question, that dreaded question, well, are people just coming into Troncase and you're paying those members from new people coming in? We're a community build, of course, and we're just kind of ready to crawl out of that stage 1 and into phase 2. But I classify a community build still as a product and a service because we're using a real product, Tron. And there is a trust level where we come in and we put some confidence into that and we put our money in. But we're way past that stage. And this is, again, not something that was just thought of. This was designed alongside the contract. So this is what separates us from everybody else. This is what prevents us from being kind of that Ponzi type structure that some people think, because we have real products, real services that are just around the corner. I just can't stress how happy I am with this and how this is going to really change everything that Troncase does. Troncase is absolutely the epicenter of this. Huge amounts of volume are going to be coming back into the contract, and that's it. That's how we do it, and that's how it's being done, and it's just around the corner. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Mike?
Thank you, Braden. So guys, go ahead and unshare that. There we go. So guys, what Braden just went over is very, very important. And that's the biggest question for people that are coming in and say, if I throw money into this, is it going to last for a long time? And I can tell you, yes. There is a swapping company out there that has partnered with the Binance Smart Chain. It's called Pancake Swap. It is producing hundreds of millions of dollars, guys. And they anticipate that our own swapping company is going to surpass them. So can you imagine us making hundreds of millions of dollars that funnels back into Troncase? That's going to be able to pay us for many years to come. So thank you, Braden, for that. There is someone in there that asked, is there signals that we can get right now currently on the Telegram group? And the answer is yes. If you're a member of Troncase, you can get to that Telegram group, and there's signals out there for free currently right now. Some people have paid lots of money for those signals.